Hey bourbon fans, I'm back again. I'm Tim the Suburban Dad, helping dads find great bourbon. This video has been a long time coming, I think. I've talked so much about Booker's. I've talked a little bit about Knob Creek. In the comments, I've heard a lot about people saying, why buy Booker's when you can just get Knob Creek barrel proof, which is just as good or better in their opinion. So I thought, hey, you know what? Why don't we check it out? Let's do a blind tasting to see the best Booker's of 2022, which is Ronnie's batch. And if you're losing your mind and confused why I said Ronnie's is the best, just watch my video right here about how this ended up being the best Booker's of 2022. And I've got a bottle of a store pick of Knob Creek. It's actually just the state of Missouri pick, so it's not really a specific store. 120 proof. We're gonna see, is this worth it or is Booker's worth it? Let's get to it. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, hit like. We can be friends, I promise. So, I have no idea, these are just randomly placed. I don't know which one of these is which. It's a truly blind tasting tonight. We're gonna go by nose and taste. We'll see. So, stats real quick. Booker's is, how old is it? It's 6 years old, 11 months, 22 days, just shy of 7 years old. It's 124.3 proof. So one of the tamer versions of Booker's, really. This is the first release from last year, 2022. This Knob Creek, 120 proof. It is 9 years and 8 months old, okay? So it's a little lower proof, but it's also older by 2.5 years-ish. All right, so pour A, pour B. I don't know which one's which. We'll start with A. And just color-wise, these are pretty dang similar. No real difference there. So both Beam products. Booker's runs around 90 plus these days. Knob Creek store pick, this is right around 60-ish. I've seen it for a little cheaper, I've seen it for a little more, but right around 60 is a fair bet. So about 30 bucks price difference. If this one is the winner for 30 bucks cheaper, yeah, I could easily see why you would want to pick that one. And you can just find this on the shelf anywhere. This one you have to bust your butt trying to find, at least here in Missouri. Okay, on the nose, pour A. A little hot on the nose. Whew, yeah, it's tingling my nose hairs a little bit. Okay, so caramel, oak, just a little bit of oak, mostly caramel, a little butterscotch in there. Vanilla, the standard bourbon notes. Nothing too crazy. This one definitely does come off a little hot on the nose, which doesn't always mean much, but we'll see. Let's have a taste. So I'm going to also try and guess which of these pours is which. Historically, I've been pretty awful at that. I'm definitely not like the bourbon junkies where they can just taste something and they're right on the money with it, or at least within a pretty good ballpark. I don't really trust myself with that yet. But on the first sip, same notes carried over from the nose. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of oak. Let's have another sip. It's got a good warming finish, which I'd expect from either one of these. Nice warming finish, maybe a medium length finish. A little bit more oak on the back end of the palate there. It coats the tongue okay. Not super viscous, oily. Okay, so I'm gonna save a little bit there. I should mention, I already cleansed my palate in preparation for this. Wanted to come into it fresh so that I wasn't biased by other flavors of things that I've eaten today. Pour B. Number 2, just My assistant happened to label it as B, so I'm going to call it B. All right, on the nose. Ooh, already this is a much more tempting, inviting, luscious nose. Not the alcohol burn on the nose. Similar notes, caramel, a little bit of oak hiding in there, vanilla. Just a hint of more cherry on this one. Yeah, a little bit of cherry hiding in there. Not fresh cherry, more like a dried cherry or cherry pie almost. All right, so let's have a sip. Wow. Okay, I'll just say overall, this one, pour B, number 2, the nose and the palate, way more gentle and velvety, more drinkable. So minimum 120 proof between these two pours. This one goes down way easier, way smoother. Yeah, I feel like I'm just able to enjoy this a little bit more without any water or anything. This one just comes off as just more pleasant, more easygoing. Like, I like high proof, but I don't like an ethanol smack in the face, okay? So I like this kind of high proof where it's easy to drink, which is dangerous, but yeah, it's nice. Dang. More oak on this one, which that part I'm not as big a fan of. Maybe a little bit more spice on this one. Okay, not an earth-shattering difference between the two. I would say on the palate, this one has less caramel. Still the same, it's got a good warming finish. I'd say the finish is longer on pour B than A. Now, for science.
Yes, science!
Okay. I'm gonna add a drop of water to each. A little bit more on that one. Yep, that's good. Okay. Now we'll see what that does for us. Back to pour A. On the nose, there's a lot more butterscotch right away with addition of water. Ethanol burn is way calmer, very tame. That's opened up very nicely. Let's have a taste. With just that little drip of water in there, much more enjoyable, a lot more caramel and butterscotch on the palate. Really don't get much oak, which is nice. So this one is shaping up real nicely with that drop of water. A little bit of oak at the back end there. Finish is a little shorter. It's definitely not as vibrant and long as this one. B has a much better finish to it. Both of these are good pours. So far, B is winning a little bit in my mind. So let's have a taste again with a little drop of water in it. Sorry, nose first. Definitely dulls the nose more. Almost more of a fruit tone, or like green, this is gonna sound weird, but like green wood, like fresh wood if you break a stick in half. It's got more of that fresh wood smell as opposed to like dry oak. A little brighter, fruitier, but I'm having a hard time distinguishing which fruits exactly. A little bit of nuttiness in there. Both these again are Jim Beam, so it makes sense that there'd be some nutty tones. Let's sip. Very enjoyable, very easily drinkable. It again does, man, these are not far off. These are no further away than first cousins at least. Pour B, it does have a little, it has a lot of that caramel butterscotch up front, vanilla, you know, like I said, standard bourbon stuff. It has just a little bit of oak at the back end, maybe a little spike of spice in the middle. A had more oak to me, which I'm not a fan of. All right, let's finish off pour B. That is a very nice pour right there. I enjoy that a lot. And finish off pour A, just a tiny little sip left. A little bit of fruit, a little bit of that root beerish note to it, which I historically have gotten from Ronnie's. The winner, before I say anything else, the winner is pour B. For sure. Better on the nose, better on the palate, better on the finish. All the way around, better. It's an easy win here. This one was not bad at all, but this was better. B was better. If you had threatened me with my life to choose which one is which, I guess I would say A is Ronnie's and B is Knob Creek. if I had to guess, but I'm not confident about that. Let's find out the results together, shall we? So, drum roll please. Pour A is Booker's. That means B, the winner of this face-off, is Knob Creek, folks. Well, you guys were right. Knob Creek Barrel Proof beat out Booker's in a blind tasting. The best Booker's of 2022, which, again, if you had asked me before I did my blind tasting what was the best Booker's, this would have been the last on the list. My bias was taken away by the blind tasting, so I chose the unbiased favorite for the opponent for Knob Creek tonight. There you have it. Grab yourself a bottle of Knob Creek store pick. It's probably going to be better than Booker's. Have you done a side-by-side between Knob Creek and Booker's, or even just tried them separately, and which one did you like better? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Till next time, guys. Cheers.